What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central. And on today's episode, I got my little brother from another mother, Spice Bands, is in the building. We're going to talk about the Bulls' upcoming game against the Miami Heat. We're also going to be diving into the mailbag. We're going to do all that and more. But first, we got to get into the intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, bro? What's good, man? You ready to talk these Bulls,
what's up,
fam?
man?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
So for those who don't know, this is Spice Bands. You'll see him in the chat. He's in the comments a lot, almost in every live stream. We're able to connect and do this episode, so I'm really excited to bring this to you guys. First up, man, we're gonna talk about the game tonight. I think that's what most people are wanting to hear. Noah dropped the video early with Jamal, but we didn't really get into it. What are your expectations with this game against Miami tonight?
Man, so before the season started, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said that the Bulls going to be like, what, the third seed? But I said that there was only going to be two teams that we struggle against. And that's Miami and Philadelphia. So, I mean, it'll be nice for the Bulls to come out with a win to end the season. But, I mean, that's going to be hard, man. But I'm lying, though. I can see him pulling out a win tonight, though. You know, after everything we've been through, just bring out that fight. Yeah. Hopefully Billy get him riled up, do what a coach supposed to do, you know? So, yeah, I can see him coming out with a dub.
I can see it too, like especially riding the momentum from that last game. The two things, and this we're going to need what we usually get from DeMar. We're going to need Zach Levine to be locked in the best way that he can with all that knee stuff. But I really think it's going to come down to two players and what they do. If Vooch gets going early and is playing tough and he forces Bam to really have to stay on him and Bam can't do that roaming around blocking everything thing, I think that makes the scoring easier on everybody else. So I really hope that BD goes to Vooch early, and Vooch is also successful in going early in the post, not really shooting a lot of 3-pointers until his post game gets going. But then also not just to put it on him because of the last game, but I think Patrick Williams can absolutely be an X factor in this game, because if Patrick Williams comes in being active on the boards, getting the Bulls more possessions like he has the last few games, and they can afford to put Patrick Williams on Jimmy Butler during certain times, allowing Alex Caruso and Io to stay on Hero and other players out on the perimeter, I think that really can change a lot as well. And I didn't even mention Patrick Williams scoring. If Patrick Williams shoots the ball confidently and effectively and forces Jimmy Butler to also have to guard him, that really changes this game a lot. It makes the game a lot easier for the Bulls. I'm still not predicting the Bulls to necessarily win this game. I want to see the Bulls play tough. I want to see them play hard. But yeah, like you, I didn't think Miami would give us as many fits as what they've given us this season, but I definitely thought Philadelphia would. But I want to see the Bulls have a great game tonight against Miami.
Yeah, me too, man. Speaking of Bulls, man, so you know, I'm only 18, right? So you know, I'm kind of like a shorty when it comes to the fan base, right? So, you know, this is actually my first time being up on, like, Twitter seriously, seeing, you know, like, the Bulls community fan base and stuff like that. I'm not going to lie, man. I was kind of disappointed, man. Like, if we being – bro, the Vooch hate, like, are you serious? We was literally begging for Wendell Carter to give us a double-double last year. Exactly. And then we get it like every game, even on his worst games, and now he's like the worst player in the NBA. Like, I don't get it, man. It's just
the Vooch hate has been such an interesting thing to watch go, because when the Bulls were winning a lot at the beginning of the season, people were still hating on Vooch, and I understood it because he was clearly not playing up to his level while the Bulls were winning, so it was easy to like use him as like Vooch just needs to improve. But like since then, Vooch has really been consistent for the most part since about 30 games into the season. And the thing with, like, yes, he's not putting up the same numbers he did in Orlando. He never was, though, on this team. That's the thing. He never was supposed to be that. Matter of fact, I would say if Vooch was giving you that same 20 and 10, 25 and 10 that he was giving you Orlando, that would mean that we have so many injuries on this team that we're probably not winning. And so, I listen, Bulls Twitter, is this your first year on it, bro? This is in a winning season. Imagine what it was like during the Derrick Rose era, especially after he tore his ACL, and then like since the Jimmy Butler trade. It's Chicago Bulls Twitter is wild. Man. It's wild.
Yeah, man. the Kobe White stuff, like the Kobe White hate, really made me believe, like, to be honest, Bulls fans, like, are really, like, let me just put it like this, right? I say what, 20% of Bulls fans actually know basketball, and most of them are on this channel, and the When You See the Breeze too.
Yeah.
But the rest is just like Bears fans that just like to watch basketball because of Michael Jordan, bro. Like I didn't see some crazy stuff said about basketball up in his fan base, man. But hey, we getting better, man, and you helping that out with this channel, man. People come here to learn and stuff like that.
I appreciate that. I listen, I try to be level-headed. I know Petty Roosevelt comes out certain times, but we do, like, and I think that is one thing that is unique about the Bulls fan base is that we have so many built-in fans from that dynasty era and from the Derrick Rose era too. I think we sometimes forget too how many casual fans came over during Derrick Rose MVP stretch and stuff like that, and they've stayed with this team, but they don't really they don't take in basketball. They watch basketball, but they don't really know how to take it in and analyze it. And that's not the shit on the fan base. That's probably the most with most sports. And basketball is one of those easy sports to look at the box score and think, hey, I know what happened in this game. And it's like, no, it doesn't really give you an indication of it. But so in this game against Miami Heat, this is the two players really give us fits, and they're two of the best players on the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler and Bam. Bam, especially on the boards, Bam blocking, things like that. Jimmy, we know Jimmy's just an irritant and he loves having big games against the Chicago Bulls. But outside of those two, what do you think the Bulls need to do and can do to contain Tyler Hero? Because that's who I'm worried about going the hell off in this game. I'm really worried about Tyler Hero going off.
Yo, I was just about to mention him, bro. Like, dead ass, bro. Man, all right, so what I was going to say before, mention Tyler Hero, I was going to say, like, I feel like the key is Kobe White. Like, let's be honest, man. Most of the games that we lost against the Heat was, Tyler Hero coming off the bench and like making us look like babies, like literally just doing it with ease, bro. I feel like we need something to match that. I'm not gonna say that we're gonna stop him, especially since Zoe not here. He give us that length. He give us, I'm not gonna say that we're gonna stop him, but like we need to do something to at least keep up with him.
Yeah.
I know they just got Victor Oladipo back, but but Tyler Hero, man, he actually takes Miami to the next level, man. Like, and that's what people didn't understand. What we was trying to say about Kobe White, like having someone off the bench like that, take you to the next level. And so he does that for the Heat. So I don't know if we can stop him. I feel like he's still gonna give us 20 today, but hopefully Kobe White show up, man.
Yeah, I mean, like that's a good point too. Rather than focus on stopping him, if we can get somebody off the bench to match him, I just want to see Kobe be consistent, man. I don't know what's going on. Man. Like what I will say though is Kobe's giving things other than just scoring now, which does make it better. But yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that shot start falling with Kobe, because when Kobe gets going, it's so crazy because when Kobe's in the groove, literally you'll see a zip pass from Alex Caruso halfway across the court after Alex Caruso penetrates, and Kobe's just there. And he looks off the person who's about to come out and guard him, shoots it, it goes in, and it's it's beautiful. When Kobe's offense, when Kobe is going, it's beautiful offense. We just have not seen it consistently since. Go ahead.
I'm talking about 3 straight threes. Like he did. How many times have you done this like this season? Like I'm talking about he hit 1 3. Okay, back to back. He just keep it going, man. It's fun.
Yeah. Kobe's definitely when he's going a fun player to watch. Coming out of this Miami game, I know we touched on it a little bit. Any other keys or anything you want to bring up before we talk about like where the playoffs are sitting right now and what tonight's game means for the playoffs?
Oh man, the playoffs. Hey, it's weird because it's like the East is changing every day. Like literally day. Like we can't make this up. Yeah. So I mean, you never know. Like the Bulls go up on a winning streak, we could possibly be right back at the 3rd seed. Like you never know, but I mean. Another key for tonight, I mean, it's just we gotta stick with what been working, man. Like we have to. And shout out to Pat from Locked On Bulls and Windy City. I hear him say it a lot, man. We have to stick on what works, bro. Like we have to.
That's a fact.
Like I understand DeMar, he puts up 50 off of ISO, but if Vooch is going and if he's if that's the other team's weak spot, keep it going, man. Don't stop.
Yeah, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. But looking at the playoff season, so right now we'd be facing Philly. Matter of fact, if the Bulls win tonight and Cleveland loses tonight, the Bulls lock in a playoff berth. At that point, the lowest that they could drop is 6.
Okay.
Which, I think we're going to lock that in regardless of that. I just mentioned
Yeah.
that to mention it. Now, one thing that I've been very vocal about is I would rather face Boston than Philly in the first round. Now, something
Real
that
shit,
has
man.
but something that's been showing, it looks, I've always said, hey, Harden starts falling off. Harden is not the same that he was when he first came to Philly already. I don't know if you watched the last few Philly games. Harden isn't. It seems like Harden's starting to get into that lull he goes into in certain points. So I'm not saying still, but it's always been Embiid. I don't even care who else is on the court. As long as Embiid's playing, he's always going to worry me when it comes to the Bulls facing them. But do you have, as we get closer and wind down this season, do you have an opponent you rather the Bulls face in the first round? Is it Boston? Is it Philly? Or at this point, you don't even care?
As of right now, it has to be Boston. Like, like it has to be Boston. And I know it sounds weird because Boston are like, man, what they don't want like what 25 out of they.
Yeah, they've had basically the exact opposite record we've had since the All-Star break. They've been on the opposite run. Crazy. They've been going crazy since the All-Star break.
Nah, for real, man. That is. So it sounds weird, but it's true. Like, it's Boston who most people want to face. But after that, I would say Milwaukee because I feel like we could beat Milwaukee, man. Like that last game, that was,
Okay.
But the first 2 games, though, we had them. If it wasn't for a couple, mistakes and stuff like that, those were like very winnable games, man.
Yeah.
So I just feel like it has to be Milwaukee, if not Boston. I don't want to see Philly, even though you're right, but still, Embiid is like Aaron Rodgers to the Bulls, like. No matter how many players we get different or like, it doesn't matter. He just dominates us every time, man. And the Heat, I do not want to see the Heat.
Oh,
man. No. I feel like coming into this season, looking at the roster, man, I looked at every team roster, and Miami was the one team in the East. I swear to God. I swear to God, man. Miami was the one team up in the East who you look at their roster and it matches up with the like it matches up with the Bulls. Like I looked at Philly roster and it's like, okay, they got all these little other dudes that have been killing us this season, though.
Yeah.
But they got all these other dudes who we don't know, and they got Embiid and Drummond and stuff like that. And you look at Milwaukee, it's really Giannis and Middleton decent, and let's not forget about Holiday. Yeah. But you look at the Bulls roster, it's like complete as hell, like man. And then you look at Miami, it's like complete as hell. It's like man, like. Yeah. I do not want to see Miami though, man. I don't.
Yeah, I'm glad that we get to face Milwaukee. Yeah, well, shit, they're the next game. We face them on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Now with Patrick Williams, because I want to see how different that looks for this team. But I'm still, I don't know. I'm still not the most like Milwaukee is another one just because of how freaking good Giannis is. Like Giannis is just.
That's facts.
Like, I don't talk about team players from other teams very often because this is a Bulls channel. I try to focus on our own team. But Giannis is just one of those players, and that's why I don't understand when people say, "Hey, we like Giannis wouldn't really play good in the '90s era." Like Giannis is literally a generation. No, you can put Giannis in any, as long as the game of basketball is the game of basketball, Giannis is going to find a way to dominate. Period.
Man, I hate when old heads say that, man, because it's like they don't tell the truth. Like, come on now, if Giannis was playing back up in the day, like he's even more athletic than a lot of people back in the day. Like, come on now, it's
like I would love to see a prime Scottie guard Giannis, but still, Giannis would give Scottie some work. Like
that's facts.
Like especially if they played in the '90s era and Scottie could do some of the physical stuff he can't do in this era, it'll be an interesting matchup. But I guarantee you, freaking Scottie would afterwards be like, "This Giannis kid, man, listen, Jordan, can you guard him? Can you get him on the next goddamn possession?"
Nah, for real, that's
but yeah, it's always been Boston. I think I look at Boston, not to say that it's easy, but I look at how we match up, especially if we get Lonzo back. I like the way that we match up against Boston. The Philly series, man, that's gonna be tough work for the Chicago Bulls if it ends up being Philly in the first round.
First round, oh my God.
Yeah, and it seems like I don't know if, and so I said Philly. I think they've lost the last 3 games at that. Like they may be strategically trying to pick their opponent, but like I worry about that. Not for us, but those teams that think they can just turn it off, turn it on, especially when you got James Harden. If that's what they're doing, if they're saying, "Hey, we're going to strategically try to stay around 4 so we can face the Bulls in the first round," that may not work out for them or be as easy as they think it's going to be because Harden, Harden just he's not that player that can turn it off and on anymore. So I guess we'll see.
Man.
And we just saw Kyrie give Harden some work when he was guarding him. Could you imagine what a Alex Caruso, and Lonzo probably won't be healthy, but if Lonzo were healthy on Harden in the playoffs, if Kyrie gave you some work like that, come on, man.
Man, look, I think the first time we played the Nets, I think Lonzo was like,
Lonzo killed Harden. Harden had like 15 points and like 25 shots that game. So
he was bullying that man.
Yeah. So all right, let's go ahead. We're gonna finish this one out with the mailbag. We got 4 voicemails to get into. I'm warning you now. One of these may be triggering because people got some hot takes. So we're gonna get into we're gonna get into the first one now.
What's up, Hayes? It's your boy Jamal back again with another voicemail for you. Good win by the Bulls last night against the Clippers and everything like that. Debo went off for 50. T-Will actually was, he was a little slow in the beginning, but, not as aggressive. But at least in the fourth quarter and overtime, he really stepped everything up. So I like to see that. Just a couple of thoughts about Patrick Williams. I was thinking today, 2 things that I think that could really help Patrick Williams, and they both involve Hakeem Olajuwon. Number one, I think Patrick Williams should go down to Houston and work with Hakeem Olajuwon when it comes to his post game. I think that I don't need Patrick Williams doesn't come off as a guy who takes a lot of when it comes to threes, he's a spot up shooter. He's going to shoot spot up in the corner and things like that. And as much as I would like to have him involved his 3-point shooting game, I'm not worried about that. But I think something that could really work well for him is developing a post game, especially when he's playing smaller power forwards or small forwards, or he has smaller guys on him. Developing a post game will really help his game out a lot because he'll know when to take advantage of it. And who better to learn how to do post moves with than the greatest post scorer of all time, Hakeem Olajuwon. A lot of players go and work with him in the off season and stuff like that. I wouldn't be shocked. I would think it'd be good for Patrick to go down there and work on that with him as well. But more importantly, when it comes to Hakeem Olajuwon, one thing that happened to Hakeem when he was in college and he was part of the Phi Sigma Gamma group is that not only did they have a great coach who was good at teaching big men how to play, but Hakeem Olajuwon played a lot of pickup games. If you don't know the history, played a lot of pickup games with Moses Malone during his college games. And that is what really helped develop his game offensively and everything like that. And I think that's what Patrick Williams needs.
All right, man. That was a lot thrown out there. First off, I don't know how realistic it is for Patrick Williams to work with Hakeem Olajuwon. Also, I don't know if Patrick Williams is ever going to be that true back to the basket type power forward where he needs post moves. But Spice, I'll let you go into that too, man. What do you think about that?
I feel like on phone, man. I feel like
first, I know you, and this isn't to age shame or anything. I know you. Do you understand the Hakeem Olajuwon thing? Like you have that form of reference? How good Hakeem was in the post? Kind of, sort of.
Hey, so I got this big homie, man. He like 25, and he always he mentioned he told me some stuff about Hakeem, and I seen a couple highlights and stuff. But I feel like if Pat did develop a post game, that'd be kind of cool. But just like you said, I feel like because of his size, he not, he what, 6'8"?
Yeah, 6'8".
So I feel like because of his size, I would like to see him more up on a Kawhi Leonard type stuff. Of course, most of us Bulls fans would like to see, but I feel like if he developed a post game, he'll be cool. But just like you said, I don't think it's kind of realistic, for him. No.
Yeah, I mean, it can never hurt a player to learn in the post. As players get older, we always see them, they gravitate closer and closer to the post, and they but those true type center type post moves, I don't know if Patrick Williams needs that. Now, I personally want to see Patrick Williams be more deadly from the mid range and three. Like I want him to learn that mid range game from DeMar if possible and get better from three. But a post game can't hurt, right? I just don't know if that's what I would want to see him focus on. But really, at the end of the day, it's about how AK and Eversley see him developing and what they want to see him work on. At the end of the, I think that Patrick, while he's this young and he's a sponge, you want to try to teach him a little bit of everything and see what he gravitates to and what he ends up being better at. I just don't know if I see Pat needing to be that true back to the basket, low post type scorer. Because I just, and the game's kind of getting away from that. Again, not to say that it still can't be deadly. We see how good Vooch is with it when he gets going, but he's a center. Patrick will never play center, right? So it's either going to be the 3 or the 4 with Patrick. So, but let me know if anyone who's watching the video when it gets posted, let me know what you guys think down below about that. Maybe I'm off.
Let us know something.
Yeah, let us know. All right, let's get into this next voicemail.
What up? Hey, this is Ricky Carroll. Bulls playing a great game tonight. Hey, I hope somebody paid attention to this more than I. Zach Levine with that last 3-point jump shot that he shot when nobody there. He forced the shot up. He pissed Mark DeRosa off. And Mark did not look his way nowhere in the game. He took over the game. He was pissed because Zach took them dumbass shots. I hope somebody's seeing that outside of me. He took the game over. Bulls playing a great game. And I must say, Billy coached a whole lot better tonight, even though them dumbass timeouts he made sometimes. But I got to give it to him. He did okay tonight. Jack, what the? Peace.
Listen, Ricky hates fucking Zach Levine. He like real talk. Ricky, shout out to Ricky Carroll. I don't agree with that. I don't think I saw anything that said DeMar. I think DeMar was locked in and wanted to win that game, but I don't think he was pissed. And then even seeing them after the game, I sometimes I think as spectators we try to find narratives and things, and I just don't think that they were there. What do you think, Spice?
Man, hey, that's facts, man. Out here up in Chicago, man, there's a lot of drama, and I feel like I seen early up on the season, some people tried to say Zach was hating on DeMar or something like that.
Oh, when DeMar hit that first game winner,
I feel like, look, anybody that can play organized sports, man, up in a moment, if that was me, I'm like, bro, why you taking that shot? Like
exactly.
Like it's just a reaction at that time. It's got nothing to do with hate or nothing to do with, like, I feel like we need to stop all of that. There's nothing that going on, and so I don't agree. And plus, Zach, man, I don't understand how people don't like Zach Levine. Like, what? This man is like, the way he developed his game, he went from a dunker to like, come on now, like, you have to like him, man. It's just
and that's not to say that Zach Levine is by any means a perfect player, but when you, like you said, when you look at the way that he's developing, he's turned himself into a 3-level scorer when he was a high flyer and a dunker, and he turned himself into one of the most efficient scorers when he's healthy in the NBA. Like it's one of those things to where Bulls fans will never be happy because we had Michael Jordan. That's literally what it boils down to. And Derrick Rose, like, because like, seriously, because we had Michael Jordan. And because we had Derrick Rose wasn't a perfect player either, but because we had those players and they won MVPs, unless a player lives up to that, they're always going to find something. Like, it was comments in the video today with Jamal of like, the Bulls should trade Zach Levine for, I can't remember, it wasn't AD, it was somebody else. Finally, it wasn't the AD thing, but they're like, trade Zach Levine for XYZ. And I'm like, in what sense does that mean? Like, you literally make the team a worse team at that point. What are you doing?
Man, I just don't get it, man. And I didn't get it. I never thought about that. It's crazy that you brought it up because, I wasn't alive when Michael Jordan was playing. So it's crazy that you brought that up. Like, that is why, man. That's why. Because, all of them, most of them watched Michael Jordan kill.
Yeah.
Are they expecting them from Zach,
Yeah, and I think that even goes to some of the Patrick Williams, like the impatience when they're like, well, he's not a killer yet. He needs to be more aggressive. He needs to take 20 shots a game. And it's like, listen, everybody doesn't develop that way. Everybody doesn't develop that same way. So, Just need to see the team improve that way. And Zach is going to be fine. Zach is going to be fine. He's going to be here. I'm not worried about the Zach Levine contract thing anymore because Zach Levine is going to be a Chicago Bull for a long time coming, hopefully. So we'll see how that continues to go. Let's get into the next voicemail.
Hey, man. You and Pat, the designer, said the exact same thing that I've been saying for the longest. I think some of y'all stole my talking point because I've said it a couple times when I called into his show, and I said it a couple times when I've commented in your chat. We need to play through Vooch inside out, not outside in. You notice I've said that before? I swear to God. The next live stream you and Pat the designer do, you better give me a shout out. God damn it, because y'all really took a lot of my sayings and then, hey, I'm your guy, but still, I've said exactly what y'all was just saying in that game after we beat the Wizards.
Shay, listen.
You can't lie and say
what was that, Shay?
That's
anyway.
Shay. You know Shay. Shay's the biggest. I told you. First of all, Shay, people have been saying play inside out literally since the beginning of the season with Vooch, man. It's watching basketball. You get your credit that you have been saying it, right? But ain't nobody take it. That's literally anybody who watches the game of basketball, they figured that out. But I love Shay though. It's no hate. I love Shay. Go ahead, Spice.
Man. Hey, that's real stuff, man. I mean, you just said it all, bro. I mean, everybody been saying that,
Yeah, Shay is a motherfucker, man. That he lives for our "I told you so" moment. That's not hate. That's just who Shay is. Shay's a good dude, man. Big supporter. All right, let's get into the last voicemail for today. Go ahead.
I was going to say I've been seeing him since the Windy City Breeze chat, man.
Yeah, Shay is all over the place. He's all over the place. He loves the team though. Let's get into the last voicemail.
This is A-Live, and I see we already at the playoff time. I think the only way the Bulls are going to win is to play through DeRozan as if he's Durant or something like that. We need an identity. We don't have an identity. And I trust playing through DeRozan at this point because that was the best time we had this season. Through all the COVID, through all the injuries, at the end of the day, that the best time that we had was when we was playing through DeRozan first. And hopefully Zach and Vooch and them can get in line with that. Hopefully the coach can push that so they can have an identity through the playoffs. And I think that's what will help us.
That's a pretty straightforward voicemail from 8 Lives. And I wouldn't say I don't think that the key is playing through DeMar because I think that tends to go more towards iso ball. I think the key, especially in the playoffs, is if it's available. There are going to be some matchups where we can't go to Vooch, where Vooch is not going to be the scorer that night. But I think it really is, to go back to Shay's point, is really playing inside out with Vooch because Vooch is an amazing passer. Vooch, when he gets going in the post, it makes teams have to collapse on him, which opens up things on the perimeter. And that's another thing we need to talk about at some point, is the fact that the Bulls' three-point shooting has been terrible for like the last 10 games for the most part. And if that three-point shooting gets back to where it was early in the season, the Bulls would be so much more dangerous, especially now that Vooch is going. But I really think the key for playoff basketball for this Bulls team is going to be getting Vooch involved early and playing through Vooch at least to start the game. What do you think, Spice?
Yeah. That man, I feel like when Zoe was here, I don't know if we was, now I might be wrong, but I don't know if we was playing through DeMar exactly when Zoe was here. I feel like Zoe was like, I mean, a lot of plays
in transition we were going through Lonzo, but yeah, like you said, down the stretch of games we were going through DeMar. But I would even like to see go through Lonzo even more when we're down the stretch of games. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah. You're right, man. I feel like right, because now it's kind of like the whole thing is just going through DeMar, but when Zoe was here, it was a little bit of balance,
Yeah.
So especially what you said, if the Bulls start back, with the 3-point shooting, Zoe was like actually really good for the three this year. So playing inside out with Vooch, and I mean, hey, Vooch is willing to pass it. He's willing to pass it. Like you said, that'll make the team dangerous, man.
Yeah, Vooch. Listen, Vooch does so much for this team, and while people are hating on him, I think that they don't see that when Vooch is going, like literally, he's damn near the key to the Bulls going from a really good offense to an elite offense. Especially while Lonzo balls out. Now, when Lonzo's there, we can still be the elite even when Vooch is not going because of what Lonzo does in transition and with his basketball IQ and everything. But a lot really does hinge on Vooch, and I think it's key that in the last 2 games that we've played, Vooch has played very big parts of those games and how in the Bulls game plan. We'll see what happens tonight against the Heat if that trend continues. Because listen, Shea lives for an "I told you so." If the Bulls do beat Miami today and Vooch has a big game, the "I told you so" I'm going to have on the live stream today is going to be wild.
Nah, man.
Yeah, man. But Spice, that's it for me. Unless you got something else, man, go ahead and give me your social media and get ready to head out. Go ahead.
Hey, so I'm gonna make this my job application for Chicago Bears Central, man. Look, hey, look, you gotta employ me and my homie Cam, man. You know.
Cam hit me up too. He hit me up and he wants me to be on one of the episodes he does after one of the playoff games, and I told him, of course. So I'll be over there. But yeah, I mean, we'll work something out. You can come and be a guest on Chicago Bears Central. I gotta holler at them Cognac boys, but yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
For sure, man. Yeah, Cam is really Cam channel, but you know, we gonna start taking it like serious when the draft comes, you know.
That
dealing
makes
with
sense.
college and stuff like that, but you know, real stuff, man. I hope that we can do this again. Though this was fun, man. Y'all get follow me on Instagram at SpiceBands_, and you know, subscribe to the YouTube I'm a part of, Cam Talk Sports. You can put the link up in the description, probably.
Yeah, I got you. I'll put the link in the description.
For sure, yeah. So those are my socials, man. Shout out BLG.
All right. You guys know you can follow me. You can follow me at Bulls Central Pod. You can send any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a voicemail like you heard on today's episode, you can do so at 773-270-2799. That's it. I will see you guys later on tonight. I probably won't be able to do a pregame, but I will be here for halftime hangout and postgame for the Miami Heat game today. But that's it. I will see you lovely and beautiful people there. Go Bulls. See red, don't be red. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.